Welcome back, survivors. Going to do a couple of quick tests here. Doing a little frame rate check. This is an i5 13600K, 32 gigs of RAM with a 4070 Ti. Our current settings are on low. And when you set to low, this is our resolution. When you set to low, you have to restart. And you have to uncheck max frame rate, and RTX and everything else is off. So this is bottom of the barrel settings using the presets, and we're running 90. Depending on where you look, 90 is about the lowest. I see 100, 114, 90. And this is at 1440p. All stock. Even this looks really good. There are floating rocks in random places on low. I don't see any right now, but I've seen them in the past. So yeah, you're running 100 FPS. Okay, now, just because I want to see how this works, let's do 1920 by 1080. See how much different is it. Probably not a lot. So on 1440 versus 1080, there's not much difference, I think, because the 70 Ti can put out the 1440 at this. There's some floating rocks right there. It can put out that resolution without much trouble. So there's not much difference there. I'm running 110, 106, so might have picked up 10 frames. I'm not trying to do anything real scientific here. There's a bunch of floating rocks. And again, I've only seen that on low. I'm not sure if there's geometry missing or what. I just want people to know what they can expect. 1980, medium, unchecked, RTX extras all off. And at 1980 or 1080, we're running in the 60s, almost 70 most of the time. Again, the clouds are all turned on, nothing, just default medium button. That's it. $75, $74, waiting for stamina. The interaction works. I really think that interaction adds a lot to the game. Everything looks really good. So we are at medium settings, 1440. Everything off. And it feels good. Look at the colors on those. Wow, my dude's got a serious drinking problem. Yeah, that hurt. That's what I like about the new foliage. It's so easy to even slip off the edge. It actually changes the gameplay. So on medium settings, we're running in the 50s. 50, 56. This is all default. and no special RTX stuff. 1440p. Okay, now let's do high. And check the RTX. No RTX. No max frames. All I did was select high. It changed whatever it wanted to change. Okay, now at 1440. Now we're running... Whoa, I don't want to mess with you, dude. 45 frames. 44, 45. And I can feel a little bit in it. It doesn't feel as good. Little bit of blur. 40. So this is on high. Now what happens if we change high to 1920 by 1080? Let me make sure. Yep, okay. Okay, now, that's a big difference already. I can tell instantly. So now we're in the 50s. Out of stamina again. Now we're running at 50 frames per second, but it feels a lot better. And this is on high. And to be honest, the looks of it, 1440 versus 1080. I don't know. I can't tell a difference. And I'm playing on a 1440 monitor. I mean, I just don't see a difference. And you guys probably aren't going to be able to see much of a difference because the max I can upload this at is 1080. But it just looks good no matter what. So, and this, again, this is with everything off. You know, the special RTX stuff. So now if we turn on DLSS, we're at 60, and this is at 1980 res, 52, 53. Doesn't really make any difference at all in the frames that I can see. So 53, 55. Still don't see much. 46, 47, 51. I don't see that DLSS does a lot. Let's do balanced super resolution. Balanced super res, 50. 39, 37. Interesting. 40. Really interesting. So is that trying to upscale us back up to 1440? I really don't understand all that. Okay, and that's on high. Now let's go to Epic. Save. RTX. And that automatically turns frame gen on. And this is at 1980. I love the way the lighting works. Almost all Unreal Engine 5. If it's, I think it's the lumen that does it. When you go from a dark area to a light area, it's bright and then it dims out, which is like when you open your door to your house from dark to bright sunshine. It's real bright and then your eyes adjust. It's almost too realistic, but it looks really cool. It does take a little bit of time to adjust to, though. So we're running in the 60s. And then occasionally, like right now, when you don't have a far draw distance, you're in the 80s. 75, 80s. Feels really good, really smooth. Let's see. Can we get to that long draw distance without going off a cliff? Barely. 85. 68. 76. 68. 69. Definitely playable. Feels really good. And that is again at 1920 by 1080, epic settings, DLSS, frame gen, super res all on. And if we bump this back to our native res, will we crash or will we load? And let me just check again. Everything stayed. And now we're at epic. $51, $55, $53. And the thing is, it feels really good. So it can be in the 50s, 60, just depends. It can be in the 50s and 60s and feel really good. Ooh, there's some bad dinosaurs. 64, 65, 66. I don't see a difference. I could play this at this resolution. Or I could play it at 1080. Whichever one felt smoother or I had less problems with. Wouldn't make a bit of difference to me. So I've seen on Reddit some people saying, you know, with their cards that should even outperform mine, they're on low settings, they're getting worse frames than what I get on Epic or what I get on high with no DLSS. I'm hoping this maybe helps them troubleshoot. It may also help to restart the game after a change and flush everything out. Because right now, because I think I turned on frame gen. Right now we're running in the 70s. So we're on high, full screen, 1440. RTX stuff is on. And we're running in the 70s. $1440p should be more than playable on medium settings, and the main difference I see between low and medium is the floating rocks. This is a hateful little place here. The floating rocks and the foliage interaction is the main things I see different between low and medium. But that's it, people. I just wanted to throw this together real quick so you can have an idea of what you can expect. Hopefully I can edit it into something halfway decent, but that'll do it, survivors. Have a great day, everyone.